Do you think Bitcoin and ETH are on the bounce now? Has it bottomed? And do you think Trump is going to single-handedly save the American stock market and the American crypto markets, worldwide crypto markets? What am I talking about, right? Because Trump lately has tried to fire, right, one of the U.S. Federal Reserve governors. He's already replacing some of them, so he's going to influence the rate cuts himself. He's going to be directly in control. Today's episode is going to be huge. We're going to look at, again, what Trump's doing to save crypto and pump his own wallet. As I told you guys in my yesterday's video, and you probably found out from the news by now, that Trump has teamed up with the largest exchange in the, second largest exchange in the US, Crypto.com. Remember Matt Damon doing those ads, right? To go where no man dared, right? That's Crypto.com. And they've been very quiet lately, but now Trump signed a major deal, formed a Trump Crypto.com corporation. That's actually what it's called. And they basically going to pump $6.6 billion into Crypto.com or Cronus, the coin, CRO, the coin. It's basically like another treasury job, another just like the Bitcoin treasuries, like MicroStrategy, like Meta Planet. So, what's going to happen is basically Trump is going to pump that system. It's already pumping, as I told you guys in yesterday's video. But today we're going to look at the ecosystem and which coins inside that I think can go pretty far. This is once again a tiny coin, less than 400,000 can go huge. It sits right at the middle of the Crow ecosystem. So now basically we're gonna first have a look at Bitcoin. What's happening on Bitcoin here? So look, this is the area of interest. I have been talking about it for quite a while now. I wavered for like 1 second thinking we wouldn't get down here because I had one attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempt. Then we had that big candle up, right, on the Jackson Hole speech from the Fed, and I thought, okay, Bitcoin's probably safe. We're going to do something like this and up, but no, we're going to do this. So the reason why this 107, 108 area is where I think we get, if not the bottom, then at least a strong bounce, is because I've been saying it's where this channel is, right, and it's also where this horizontal line is. Where do I draw this horizontal line? It's basically first top 108, second top 109, third top here. There's like 3, 4th, 5th, a few tops here. And if we go on the daily, right, on the daily we can see it better. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then some 5 days of pullback here, and this is where the channel, right? This is well-respected channel. I'm not drawing out of the thin air, so we could get the bounce here. Do we finally tag this line and go up? I can't be sure, but this 107, 108 area, I said, if things got that bad and we got down there, I expect this to be strong support. And Bitcoin, if it broke this area, then things start looking bad, because you've spent 9 months in this 108K area, and you couldn't break through. And then you broke through, and if that broke down as well, turned out to be a fake out, then we really have to hold this 98K area, because or else you can't say this is a higher high, higher low anymore if we go here, right? So and how is Trump single-handedly saving the market by himself? Well, he's, as I told you guys, trying to fire this lady, right, Lisa D. Cook, one of the he's asking U.S. Marshals to remove, like literally like the movie U.S. Marshal, right, with Tommy Lee Jones, to remove her, like literally from office, like drag her out. It's to get his men in there to control the interest rate decisions. And also, what is going to be the tiny coin Pablo is going to talk about inside the Crow, right, ecosystem that Trump is pumping $6.6 billion into. Before we answer those questions, first answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means basically the exchange can't even see who you are, right? So then the IRS can't see you, the tax office can't see you, the FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. Total privacy. That's why Pablo made this deal with them, right? Trade and win weekly prizes of up to $25,000, not monthly. And it's basically not even an exchange-wide competition. That's just for Pablo's followers who sign up, right, to this link. And so see, every week they have chances to win $2,000, $4,000, $8,000, $15,000, $25,000 just by trading, right? Even in the top 60, right, you get a prize just by trading volume. Or at other times can be P&L, profit and loss. Be in the top 10 and get a prize. Okay, limited time only, folks. This deal finishes on September the 12th. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on any other platform, then that's okay. Click on my profile page, and there is my link tree or Stan link. And when you click on that, should be the first deal that pops up. Okay, let's get back to the markets because this is a great deal. And just keep in mind, folks, this is only on the Pablo He-Man link, only on the Pablo He-Man link. So basically, one thing we know that the Fed has been dragging its feet, but this Lisa D. Cook, right, was basically nominated for under Biden. And get this, they are in there for 14 years. It's almost like U.S. Supreme Court judges. They can never get rid of you. They can never kick you out. So right now, this is Trump's strategy. I'm going to explain it to you guys. You probably have never heard of this before. There are like 11, there are a number of Fed governors, and some of them have, there's like 20 of them or something, and some of them get to vote that year, some of them get to sit it out for 1 year and they get to vote the next year. They basically, I think it's in the end it's like 11 voters. It's actually 10 of them who votes, but Powell has one extra vote, so he's one vote counts for 2 votes, so basically he has a deciding vote if there's a tie. Now there are 7 core governors, right, and this Lisa Cook is one of them. And basically, Trump recently got one guy off the board. He's only got 3 months to go, so Trump asked him to, and the guy, walked. And Trump basically replaced him with one of his most trusted advisors, Stephen Moran. People in my Discord should be very familiar with him because I've told you guys he is basically like the architect to all of Trump's tariff deals. He wrote that famous paper on how to box in China, and we can see how well that plan is working right now. So what is happening is that he's ready. Of the seven prime or core governors of the Federal Reserve, he tried to fire Jerome Powell. Obviously, we all know that's been going on. Didn't happen. Then of the other 6. One is nominated by Trump himself, Waller, during Trump's last term. Stephen Moran, he's just put in there himself. Lisa D. Cook, he's trying to replace and then putting his own men as well. So that would be 3. And there's one more. I think it's Williams, this is all out there, public knowledge. You can have a search for it. But another guy who he nominated, who he put in place during his last term. So therefore, if he can replace Lisa D. Cook, then he would have 4 out of the 7 core governors, right, been basically his men inside the Federal Reserve, and he's not going to wait. He's going to force the decision. Imagine these chairmen, when they vote, they're already in 2 minds. No one's 100%. They're already thinking, well, what if inflation goes up? What if jobs tank again? I'm like 50-50, or I'm like 70-30, but I lean towards holding rates the same. And then Trump puts in someone from his own team and says, no, we're going to cut rates. And they're so adamant about it, then you're like, okay, well then, whatever. You just need a couple of more votes, right? So rate cuts are coming. I believe this is how we're going to get the blow off top. Now, what else is Trump doing to basically bend the rules, line his own pocket? But I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because that helps crypto. You know, a lot of us want crypto to pump, crypto to do well. So here is the coin that Trump has affected the most. By the way, you may not believe this. You might say, "Well, Pablo, what makes you're just an anti-MAGA supporter? You don't want Trump to do well. You don't have any proof that, you know." Okay, here's proof, right? Nobody has told you this before. But why do you think the Trumps decided to team up with the second largest American exchange and not the largest American exchange? Why do you think they do that? Is anyone able to answer that question? Anyone able to answer that question? Why did they choose? Why did the Trumps choose Kronos? Is probably the second or maybe third largest American exchange. I'm not sure what Kraken is, probably number 2. So why didn't they go with Coinbase? The reason is because Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., right, they're the actual guys who understand blockchain. Trump doesn't, obviously. They're the ones advising him, and they realize if you were to pump up Coinbase, there is no coin. Think about it. There is no Coinbase coin. You could only buy Coinbase shares. If you buy Coinbase shares, then that's registered with the SEC. What entity is buying them? But if you buy this on a wallet somewhere, right, and it's non-KYC, who's going to find out? Right? It's not like the Trumps haven't done enough insider trading with their Trump coin, meme coin, and their Melania coin, whatever. So basically, that's I believe that's why. I don't have 100% evidence. I believe that's why they teamed up with Kronos. But this is great because look at this. Kronos has gone from almost $1 down to, oh my God, 5 cents. Matt Damon going where no man, has ventured before. And look at this. This thing started running on July the 5th, July the 7th. Started running, boom. The news doesn't get announced till here. This is the last 2 days when it took off. This is August 25th. So it started running about 7 weeks beforehand. And went up to 15 cents. This was when it was at, 8 cents. So already doubled before the news broke. Yeah, I'm sure that's no insider trading. Just also, here's a block. For folks who've been following me, watching my last couple of videos, you know that this block coin is basically the other Trump coin. It's the DeFi layer, the staking layer, the launch layer for the Trump USD1 stable coins. So basically, been talking about this one. I've taken a small position, got you guys in at the bottom, which was around, I've spoken about it around here. If you got in around 12.13, then I think that's the bottom. So we're now hitting top of the range, and this is a bull flag, should take off. Like, it's only 84 mil market cap and 180 mil total market cap. Everyone's trying to guess what the total is for going to be for total FDV, fully diluted value, is going to be for the Trump utility coin, DeFi coin, WLFI, which is World Liberty Fi. But nobody knows. Nobody basically. People are saying some wild numbers. Could be 100 billion, over 100 billion, whatever. Because Trump meme coin went to 77 billion. I believe there's merit in that theory, but at least if that was to happen, then you would think block would go much higher, because market cap is like 80 million right now. So just quickly, Kronos, I think has major resistance here around 23. We've broken that. If we close above here, which we are looking like to do in the next few hours, 5 hours or so, daily close. And then next major resistance is around this 36, let's call it 38 cents area, 36 to 38 cents. I do believe we break it, and then not much resistance to about here, to 51 cents, and up we go. So Crow itself looking good. Crow itself looking good, but also what's looking good is tiny little coin on Kronos, and on Crow, and guess what? It's called Cronus because what does it do? It basically, well, let's have a look at what Twitter says. It's basically, you guys, I'm sure you trade Solana and you guys use BonkBots, right? BonkBot is this Telegram bot used to basically buy any coin on the Solana ecosystem. Why? Because it's not because people find it difficult to bridge to Solana. You have to maybe go to the exchange sometimes, or bridge to Solana, whatever. People find that tiring. So this is basically, oh, by the way, not sponsored. I legally declare I'm not sponsored, right? I haven't spoken to Cronus. So basically, they're kind of like a Solana bot, like kind of like a Bonk bot, but it's a Chrono bot, and it's on the Chrono blockchain. It's called Cronus, and basically not a lot of not a huge amount happening right now, and we can see price action. It actually went down, and actually went 2 major bars down in the last 2 days when the great news on Trump is happening. So what's my theory on Cronus? Well, it's pretty simple. One, they basically, for a lot of people who have problems bridging to Crow chain, to Solana chain, you already know how popular BonkBot is, right? Even though it's really easy to bridge to Solana chain. Crow chain is going to be even harder to bridge to than Solana chain. So imagine how many people would use a BonkBot, a Telegram trading bot. And Kronos is, as far as I know, the only one, if not, like, it's the one that I found, the most famous one. I used it to buy Kronos itself. Saw it around below 300K, but it's still at 300K right now, 390, still below 400K right now as we speak. So it's still pretty good, and look, it's actually gone down over the last 2 days. So it's only slipped up a little. Major resistance around here. We can already see lots of bottoms here. See, lots of bottoms around here. So it's sitting at major resistance because bottom, pivot bottom, pivot bottom, pivot bottom around this area. Once we clear that, I guess you could say some more tops around this area. So not safe until we get above 00052. And then once you get above 0052, then it's basically this, not much resistance. This is going to be some resistance, just the old all-time high, and then boom, up we go. So it's actually all-time high. This was only released in May. The all-time high was like 0008. So we're only 50% down from the all-time high. So it's not that difficult. 2x and we go through all-time high when we could keep going. Now, one more thing I will say about Kronos is basically this. What I like about them is this. So you can see that it's pretty quiet. I mean, who's trading on Crow right now? Nobody. Nobody's trading on Crow right now. Nobody, is even thinking of trading on Crow right now because a few days ago, like, look at the price action here, down 93%, 94%, whatever. It's basically haven't had a bull run. But now suddenly Trump is actually putting his name to this system, and now suddenly everyone's coming, and a lot of people are like, who are MAGA supporters, who are not crypto traders, they're like, well, how do I trade this Krona? How do I get on Crow? How do I get onto this Kronos trading system? Well, then people will say, well, just use a Kronos bot. That's like a bunk bot. You just have it on Telegram, put in the address, and just go buy, whatever. So you can see it. That's obvious. You can see a lot of trading volume is going to be coming. And what do they do with that trading volume? When that revenue comes in, when those fees come in, what do? They basically use it to buy back coins, and they burn them. Yeah, that's like they do regularly. So basically, you would think there would be a few more burns like this, right? A few more burns. More burns. In fact, probably a lot more burns like this in the next 2 or 3 months when Trump keeps on. tweeting or talking about his Trump crypto.com deal corporation. 6.6 billion they've got coming. Okay, that's it for today, folks. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you next episode.